Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Welcome to Clayton's Kitchen. First thing I've learned cooking is you need to have a cocktail. Miss?
Yes,
Possibly make me a cocktail. That would be great. Secondly, we're going to try something very special today. This is Christmas Day 2014, and we're going to try to cook a prime rib roast. Now, a lot of people tend to overthink this, so we're going to try and make this as easy as possible so you're not frightened of it. But what we're going to do is we're going to smear this a little bit. Now you can take the butter and you can put certain seasonings in it and all that kind of thing, but I'm just going to smear so that I can hold on some of the salt and pepper, maybe a little bit of garlic. So first we're going to start off by just slathering. That's right, I said slathering. We're going to slather this thing until it's nice and coated with the butter on all sides. We're going to flip it around. Now this is a nice little roast. There are 4 of us eating today, but we got a nice 16-pound roast here. So you can do this for roast as small as 4 pounds, all the way up to probably 20 pounders. So we're going to see how this turns out today, and luckily you get to enjoy it with me. While I slather, we'll take a commercial break. Welcome back. So we're here in the kitchen. I've got my slathering of butter done on my roast. A couple key things you might want to think about. We're going to do some more seasoning and salt and whatnot. I've got my cocktail, but I'm going to do a straw, so if my hands are dirty, I can still continue to drink. The other thing you want to remember is preheat your oven. The method that we're using today, we're going to do some high heat, so crank it up to 550. It's going to take a while to get up to that. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to come over here. I'm going to use a little bit of garlic. I'm kind of a cheater. I hate doing garlic, I'll admit it, so I'm just going to take a few spoonfuls out of the jar here. Put it on top of the roast here. Now you can do different methods with the roast. You can take and cut slits in it and take little shavings of garlic and put it into the roast. That's what a lot of the more popular chefs than I do, or you can cheat like me and just kind of take this and smear this all over as well. The next step we're going to do after we get this, I'm going to try to keep one hand clean. I'm going to try to do a little bit of pepper on top of the roast, and then we're going to cover it in some kosher salt. So once we've got a little coating of garlic over it, we're looking pretty good here. We'll take our pepper mill. Get a nice coating. It's not working fabulous, so I'll just move to some regular pepper here. As well. Get it all around. Don't forget the sides, best part. So what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and get a crust on this. You ever eat prime rib, you know you get that brown crust around the outside. It has a nice salty taste. That's kind of an important part of prime rib. So you can get a little bit rarer and rarer as you get to the center of the meat. Okay. Then we're going to take some kosher salt. This is where you don't want to be shy. Take your kosher salt, go a little crazy with it, and you want to put a coat of kosher salt all over your roast. This is not a low sodium meal in case you were wondering. Okay, I'll continue putting my salt on. When we get back, we'll go through how we're going to cook it in the oven, and we'll have a drink together. So we're done coating our roast. We've got salt, pepper, garlic, butter. We're getting ready to put it into the roasting pan. So just a couple tips here. We put some foil on the bottom of our roasting pan because we want to make sure that we keep our wives happy by making sure the cleanup is as little as possible. And you want to catch all that as you right there, right? Make it easy to get to. Secondly, we've got a little popper in here. Now, if you know what a popper is, a little popper is like you get in a lot of turkeys. Pops when it thinks the roast is done. But, you know, they use like adhesives that let go at certain temperatures, and those can fail. So just to make sure, we're going to take our thermometer and we're just going to put one in just in case. So we're going to shove it in. You find the bones, go in between the bones, you get them right into the center of the meat. Should be sitting right about there. Make it a big enough one that you can see it. Because with this method that we're doing, what we're trying to do, you cook any roast this way. We're heating this up to 550 degrees. We're gonna put the roast in there. You're gonna take the math of 5 pounds per pound of roast, 5 minutes per pound, and you're gonna cook it at 550 at that temperature. Then we're just gonna shut the oven off, let it sit for 2 hours. You're ready to go. That's it, simple and easy. So we're gonna transfer this roast over into our roasting rack. We use the rack so that it doesn't sit in its juices at the bottom. Also keeps that air circulating all the way around the roast, helping cooking. Just give the hand a rinse. We're gonna get us over by the oven there. Drop her in. There we go. And we're gonna set this. That's a 16-pound roast. So 16 pounds, 5 minutes per pound. Is that 80 minutes, I believe. So we're gonna set our timer for our kitchen timer. Okay, so we're back. Potatoes are peeled. Got some gargantuan potatoes. You wouldn't know there's only 4 people eating today. But anyway, we're making mashed potatoes. Not a whole lot that people don't know about mashed potatoes. But I have one theory that I'm gonna share with you that you will never see on Food Network or anywhere else. So most of the time when they tell you to do potatoes, you heard everybody cube the potatoes, make the cubes the identical size so that every cube cooks at the same rate of speed. But doing mashed potatoes probably once a week, I always just take them, no matter how fat the potato is. I slice the potato the same thickness, and I cook them just like that in the pot. No problem, no muss, no fuss. Got it? The other thing about potatoes, so one of the few things you can actually peel them way early, put them in the pan of water, and just let them sit there until you're ready to cook them. Just a thought. Anyway, we'll check back later. If you're ever looking for a great cutting board, may I suggest an OXO cutting board. It's twice the size of your typical cutting board. And what I tend to do is I put a V on one side, an M on one side. I do my vegetables on this side. If I'm ever doing meat, I flip it over. No cross-contamination. All done. Okay, so the roast, we've tried the oven off. We are now going to check our roast. 2 hours it is set. So we're gonna come up, we're gonna open, we're gonna pray that our thermometer, which says 140, which is a little disappointing, it's a little high right now. We're gonna hope that this thing is not overdone. But basically what happens, it usually shut off around 125, it raises 130, 135, should give you a medium rare prime roast. So it's as simple as that. We're gonna take this, we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, cut the strings off, give it a little bit of carving, and see how it all comes out. So far, so good. I mean, that looks good, right? So, as you can see, when you separate the beef, usually the butcher will cut this off. He's strung it together so that the bottom layer of the bone just falls off. Okay, we're gonna take out the string. I have a beautiful assistant who's joining me. I pay her minimum wage, but
and I make his cocktails all day.
Yes. All right, I'm tasting the crust. Very important. Super good. Okay, we'll be back. All right, so we are going to carve good-sized pieces, and obviously the end will be more well done. So let's just see how this looks.
But you're not rushing. I told her mom about 6:30. Okay?
That's the end piece, and hopefully as you get to the middle, it gets a little bit more rare than that. Because if not, I will have a bummed wife.
Did you get your water bottle?
Pretty in pink, right? Pretty in pink, babe.
Oh.
Look good?
Awesome. Let me warm up the mashed potatoes.
So we have a successful roast with the turn off method of the oven with a 16-pound roast. It works amazingly well. If you have any questions, you can contact me at my email address at the end. So thank you for joining Clay in the Kitchen today. And remember, when you're in the kitchen, it's your time to shine.